everyone has been dealing with the addition of Christoph Walz. I'm sorry, of Tim Walz to the Harris ticket. By the way, Christoph Walz playing a dark Tim Walz on I'm just saying, I'm a big fan of Inglourious Bastards. It would just be the most obtuse comedy SNL has ever done. That said, if I may, everybody's got their 2 cents about Tampon Tim, hallowed be his name, but few of a lot of us are like, I wonder how this person react, or I wonder how this person react. But no one, and I mean no one, was wondering how this person reacts. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you Ben Reacts, part of a new series that Ben Shapiro is putting out of shorter, more easily digestible clips that have all the busybody middle school voiced bullshit of his long form videos, but in a Whitman sampler of idiocy, a small, a chip off the old shit. And I'm trying to be a professional. My favorite part of Ben Reacts is his signature over his first signature over Ben. Inside. It's just, you know what I mean? It's got a certain it's kind of amazing. It's just kind of it has a certain special something that just I don't know. It's anyways. I want to know what he thinks. You want to know what he thinks, but not because we care what he thinks, and that's what's important here. It's House Sparks, Mega Worldwide. Ben Reacts.
Alrighty, so we have now seen the debut of Minnesota Governor Tim Walz on the national stage, and we saw Kamala Harris introduce him. So, obviously, there's a lot of questions. The first one is, do your neighbors know that you snuck into their house and you're sitting in their breakfast nook eating their bananas? The other thing is when you filmed this video, were you on your way to a Marco Rubio lookalike contest and you got distracted? He's in the laundry room. Very, very high energy event. Kamala Harris is bringing out gigantic crowds. Democrats are, in fact, enthused. They brought out Josh Shapiro for a little bit of a consolation run. He yelled a bit, and his voice broke, and he talked a little bit about being Jewish, which gave Democrats cover to ignore.
Obviously, his biggest panic was that Josh Shapiro would become the nominee, and then it'd be Harris Shapiro, and then everybody would be calling him a rhino and saying, talk to your brother, and you caused all this, you globalist, wink, wink.
Or the fact that the explicit reason they did not pick him is because he's a Jew. And then Kamala Harris did an entire speech in which she really didn't talk about politics very much. It was just mostly about unity. She actually tried.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, I think, who was it? Somebody tweeted, like, you can't be a Jew and be at the top of the Democratic leadership, and to which Chuck Schumer replied, excuse me?
To channel Barack Obama / 2008, circa 2008. She was talking about red states and blue states. She was talking about how she was going to govern for all Americans. And then she gave.
What a nutty thing. Who even says shit like that? I mean, these days.
Give you the background on Tim Walz. And apparently, according to Kamala Harris, the relevant stuff about Tim Walz is not that he presided over the burning down of Minneapolis, and
which is still there, by the way. I've been to Minneapolis not too long ago. It was lovely. Love Minneapolis. It's a great city. Lots of nice restaurants. Nightlife was crazy. I have to say, Minneapolis only rivaled by New York in the amount of nighttime, like all night fucking walking traffic. downtown Minneapolis, I shit you not, like club kids and people walking everywhere all the time. It's nuts. Now, granted, we were staying like 3 blocks from First Avenue, which is where Prince performed and where Purple Rain was shot and all that stuff. So, like, I'm particularly focused on downtown Minneapolis when I'm there because I'm like, this is like hallowed ground. But yeah, hashtag rip Minneapolis.
And in his own words, abjectly failed to stop that from happening. It's not that he's praised socialism. It's not that he's blown out the budget to the tune of a 40.
By the way, he didn't praise socialism. He made fun of you guys for calling neighborliness socialism. That's what he said. That's not praising socialism. He was mocking you assholes for thinking that everything you do, every single thing you do to make kids' lives better, to save old people from having to eat cat food instead of, buy their medication, right? All that shit. Everything like Social Security, Medicare, Medicaid, school lunch programs, all that stuff, that's socialism, according to these assholes. When what he's saying is, hi, hello, your hair looks lovely. Just saying. My girlfriend just walked in. She's her hair appointment looks, yes, looks.
I didn't know what I was coming back with. So.
I didn't either, but I was not expecting Farrah Fawcett circa, but I like it. I have no complaints. It might be a short show.
I'm just not even.
If you guys only knew. Hi. It looks great.
I left it with it wet because she put like curlings in it.
Mm-hmm.
So, it's yeah.
Mm-hmm. Just saying, you always look beautiful, so what am I gonna do? I'm distracted. It's okay. I'll get it back together and focus and be able to do a show. Okay, stare at the ugly dude. Okay, good. All right, back. Yes, Lord? All right. I cannot, in the middle of my girlfriend walking into me after having her hair done and having to deal with Shapiro, deal with the kidney.
The kidney has a very special place in the heart.
Ah, yes, that's true. Now, where were we? Oh, yes, this dipshit.
40% increase in the last year. It's not that he has presided over extraordinary fraud in the state of Minnesota. Of course, you wouldn't expect her to say any of those things. It's that if you go back far enough, he was a high school football coach. And don't you know, he's a teacher and a high school football. He's basically Mr. Feeney, but more athletic. He's like Ed Asner, avuncular, moderate, just one.
By the way, here's how you know his history as a school teacher and serving in the military and being a governor and stuff. This is how you know that just his early life is one of the scariest things for them, is how much they have to attack it instead of shrugging it off.
One of the boys, a guy who can crack a beer and can shoot a rifle, but is also really...
Oh, unlike you, I guess, who would crack a rifle and shoot a beer.
Really in favor of gun control and transing the kids. That's basically the pitch in favor of Tim Walz. So she does this routine. These rallies are incredibly well choreographed. I will say that. They are very well choreographed. She calls...
Organized. You can't say... By the way, the reason this is not... this is specific languaging. Remember how I pointed out how Walz was saying that Trump froze and he chose that word specifically, and why words are chosen specifically and why they workshop certain things to craft the image? Okay. The reason he's saying choreographed is because the alternative to choreographed is free associative extemporaneous, right? Is extemporaneous. They are choreographing, we're extemporaneous. Hold on. Maybe try something else. This may screw everything up because I'm worried about the thing, but we'll try it. I'm going to shrink, aren't I? I'm just going to drop half size. No. Okay. Hey. That's even later. Wow. That delay's even worse. How about this one? Just keep going back. I don't care. And, I know what I can do. I have an idea. Hold on. It's, when in doubt, completely fuck things up. Here's this. Properties. Deactivate. Activate. Maybe. Hey, look at that. Ah, look at that. That's a son of a bitch. All right. It worked. Ha ha, you son of a bitch. And I even have to restart the whole thing, and now my face is in sync with the, come on. All right. Because I fixed my shit. All right, back to this dipshit. Now, why did he say choreographed? He said choreographed because the alternative to choreographed is extemporaneous. Is, free and open, free speech, just talking. You're just being real with people, not being choreographed. You're a great dancer. You're not a choreographed dancer. Somebody else taught you those moves. You came up with them yourself, right? He can't say organized because the antithesis of organized is disorganized. And if he says they've organized this whole thing to be a blah, blah, it points out just how disorganized and trashy the Trump ones are. Yeah, JWB 52Z says trans is not a verb, Ben. Yeah, he's just being a dickhead. Also, don't put enough. One of the worst things you could do is put weight in how these guys talk, especially about trans and women's issues, because they're all, whatever they say is always going to be bullshit. I know my lips look extra red. It's it's the camera. I'm working on it. It's just this contrast thing. I don't know what, it's like when I laugh and my face turns really red, it just overdoes it. And I'm not quite sure what the issue is. I think one of the cones in the camera is broken, if that makes any sense.
Spray chant, and a chant goes up. First Democratic rally I've seen for a while where people start actually cheering USA. And why are they cheering USA? Because she says, what an amazing country this is. What an incredible country where a person like me, middle-class person, or Tim Walz, middle-class person, can become the president and vice president of the United States. Now,
yeah, what a weird message for people running for office. I have never heard any person use a similar messaging scheme to convey their desire to run. All right.
I agree with that. But she doesn't agree with that. She believes that America is systemically racist. So does Tim Walz. Tim Walz said back in...
No. That there are racist systems within the government, but not that the country is systemically racist. There's a difference. And this is one of these things they play fast and loose with. That there are remnants left over from Jim Crow and other shit like that need to be extracted. Those are in the system, and they cause, they have a racist impact. And what you do is you just repeal those things, or you overrule them with a new law and fix them. You correct them. It doesn't mean that the humans in the country or the essence of the country is inherently racist. This is what they do. And so these guys know they hate people fighting systemic racism in the U.S. because they put it there. And they have spent time maintaining it. They're like, that's the point. Redlining is a form of systemic racism. We want that back. That's what they're saying. That's why they flip the fuck out. Yes, the Electoral College, I would argue, is more about class control and cultural control amongst a few states that don't have the population to keep up with everybody else and are panicked that they'll be overrun. It's a little silly. But for the record, that's what I'm talking about. The systemic racism is the systems that are racist, specifically that are meant to, like the disparity in cocaine sentencing, the tendency to put more people in. Two guys have the same amount of pot on them. The black guy goes to jail. The white guy goes home with a slap on the wrist. Those kind of things in systems all out throughout the country, state level, city level, city jails, shit like that, and then of course all the way up to the fact that marijuana was a class 1 narcotic. Right, that idea was in that specific category. That's systemically racist stuff. Its purpose is race control. You remove those, and all of a sudden, the country isn't systemically racist anymore. Same Constitution, just applied equally to everybody. There you go. Does that make sense? Have I made that clear? Because that's been bugging me for a long time, and I need to find a tighter way of articulating that particular point. That the reason these guys complain about people who call out the systemic racist policies, laws, and whatnot in the country is because they put them there and they are trying to maintain them. That was better. That tightened it up. fairly good. I'll keep working on it.
In 2020, that he believes that those riots were a reflection of the great evil that America represented.
No. That's not what he said at all. And the great evil of racism, or the scars of racism left over from slavery, or redlining, or the ongoing attitudes of people once that, like, black people have been freed and then given the right to vote and all that kind of stuff, and the leftover axe grinding that Southerners had, and they would get into the House and the Senate and try to repeal laws to protect black people's right to vote and all that kind of that part. That's pretty fucking evil. But the problem with that, that argument is that I don't take it personally, because that ain't us. You take it personally because you're like, that's a feature, not a bug.
And yet here they are doing the unity routine. And that's what is so false about all of this, is this.
Yeah. See a black lady and the white guy getting along? Bullshit. Women don't like to be around men. Ask my wife.
Idea that these folks are real reminders of what brings us together, that what they are really interested in more than anything else is governing for all Americans. They are radically to the left. This is why the Trump campaign has a moral obligation to remind the American people.
Oh yeah, that's where they're going to fail. Sorry. Yeah, I'm sorry. Right out of the gate there, Ben. I know this is just your reaction, so you're not. This isn't something you've thought through. So maybe I'll help you out here. The Trump campaign cannot institute any kind of plans or tactics out of a moral obligation, because they are tacitly immoral. They are incapable of being moral. So, yeah, there's not a round in that chamber. Sorry, it's not going to happen. Yeah, Trump doesn't believe in moral obligations. Ask his first wife.
People, that these people are radically to the left. Okay, so that's all the intro to Tim Walz. Then Tim Walz gets up, and he's quite good. I mean,
which is the most upsetting part.
Let's just be frank about this. Tim Walz gives a speech, and the speech is avuncular, and it's charming.
It is avuncular. I agree. I was thinking, when I saw it, I'm sure you did too, when you were watching, you're like, that's, you know what, if I had to call him anything, I'd say avuncular.
Smiling the whole time. It doesn't look uncomfortable smiling.
That's because it's a real smile, stupid. You've never... Oh, that's why. I forgot. Yeah, this might be a wife thing, too. Okay, so... have you ever seen a real smile? I mean, I don't mean one that's, people trying not to get fired, or trying to... They're not trying to suck up to you or something, but like a genuine smile based on happiness. You haven't seen one, have you? He can't. Well, a lot of people can't recognize it in the wild. You know what I mean? If you've been shooting turkeys in a pen your whole life, it's a little hard to, shoot skeet even. If all these suddenly got a moving target.
He attacks J.D. Vance. He attacks Donald Trump, of course. The lowest point of the speech is his attempt to signal to his base that he'll take the gloves off with J.D. Vance. He makes some sort of dumb joke about J.D. Vance getting up off the couch, which is supposed...
Yeah, dumb joke that totally cascaded across the internet and got a huge, oh my God, laugh. And this dumb joke that... And you know why it's dumb? Because it worked. That's not fair. You're supposed to use lame jokes, and we're supposed to just say bigoted, misogynistic, shitty things that we say are sarcasm, and then our people are supposed to go laugh like normal people laugh, like Ken Copeland laughs, ha 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 ha, and then we're like boom, and we say mic drop, and then call them snowflakes, and it's supposed to end, and it never does. And everybody's really laughing at him, and he seems like he's really smiling, and it's not nice.
Supposed to be a joke about a meme that was going around the internet about a false passage that doesn't exist in Hillbilly Elegy, supposedly J.D. Vance having some sort of sexual relationship with the couch. It's really stupid, but...
Okay, real quick, Plank Boy. You can't have a sexual relationship or sexual relations even, with a couch. You can use a couch to masturbate would be really what's going on there. And I don't want to disappoint you because obviously I don't know what your weekend plans are, but the couch isn't involved. I'm just going to say that, if you do it in a store, you might have to buy it. I'm guessing that would be part of it. But that's not any type of like legally binding relationship or something. Just say, sorry, Cheryl.
It's become a Democrat meme, and now you've got the vice presidential contender who's actually throwing that out there in public. Wink, nod. He even stopped and said, "You can see what I'm doing there." And that's the whole idea here. Meanwhile, don't worry, he's bringing Americans together. Now, at no point were the challenges that...
Yeah, he did, though. I think he did. I think he brought Americans together in laughing about J.D. Vance being a couch fucker. And I bet the people around you laughed. I guarantee that if fucking Rogan was watching that, he laughed and then he caught himself and tried to fucking back away from it like the asshole he is, right?
That actually faced the country ever brought up. The challenges, apparently, according to Kamala Harris and Tim Walz, the big challenges are that Obamacare might get repealed. That's like the big challenge.
No, it isn't. Not at all. It's definitely going after Medicare, Medicaid, Social Security. He tried to repeal Obamacare, couldn't do it. He'll try again is the idea. Of course he will. And if he can, he'll get rid of it. He tried before. Why wouldn't he try again? And it's very popular, so why not bring it up? It's more of a sign of its popularity and a reminder that Democrats are responsible for it than it is for an attack on Trump, actually. It's a reminder that, hey, without Obamacare, there's a lot of people with pre-existing conditions who wouldn't have health care. A lot of people wouldn't have health insurance at all if it wasn't for the ACA. It's a good way to bring it up while slamming your opponent. It's not even necessary, but it's a good way to do it. It's a double hit instead of a single hit. It just makes sense.
The challenge is that Donald Trump might ban abortion, which, of course, he has said he is not going to do and has no...
Right, but he also, he said women should be punished for getting abortions, and they are now. So who are you going to believe?
...interest in doing. At no point was there any talk about fixing the economy. Apparently, the big threat to the economy is the Donald Trump tax cuts, according to Tim Walz.
Well, that's not the economy. That's the debt. Government, like the cost, an unfunded, like, tax break. And that it's just going to go to the upper 1%.
And if those tax cuts were to continue...
they would benefit Ben Shapiro. But not me, not you. But definitely him. And probably Glenn Beck at the Blase. Definitely Tucker Carlson. Not me, not you, him.
People might be able to keep more of their own money, and that is a serious, serious problem. Meanwhile, you have Kamala Harris out there. No mention of the fact the Middle East is on fire, no mention of foreign policy, no mention of exactly why the Biden administration seems to have taken the side of Iran in the Middle East. None of that.
Really? Is that what happened? We took the side of Iran in the Middle East. That's how I describe it. Sure. We're only knocking their missiles out of the sky and moving carrier groups to the region in case they attack more for show.
Of course, no serious dealing with issues, and that is the theme of this campaign. In the end, that's the theme of this campaign. Ignore everything. Ignore all of the activities of the Biden campaign and the Biden-Harris administration. Ignore all of it. Ignore.
Well, I mean, obviously not all of it. The jobs numbers, the economy, the stock market, even after this Kamala crash, which lasted all of 32 hours and then bounced back.
Or Tim Walz's tenure as governor. Ignore all of it. They are
Well, obviously not, because they're bringing it up. I mean, one of the biggest things is that he's for a national school lunch program so that kids aren't hungry at school.
Casting a TV show. And in this TV show, you have the very charming Kamala Harris, who apparently...
Okay, fuck off with this. The idea that this Veep Stakes was made like a TV show, but Donald Trump's was made out of a sober realization of the necessity of a functioning campaign in a White House. Get the fuck out of here. The only thing that wasn't The Apprentice about Trump and his show is that he didn't have and his choosing of J.D. Vance as his VP and didn't make it an actual fucking show, is that on The Apprentice, Donald Trump never fired fucking anybody. The producers made the decisions and he pretended to fire people. And they did it entirely based on ratings, not on the worth or the value of the person or how successful they were. It was just dumb. And if they wanted to get rid of somebody that was doing too well, they would undercut them intentionally. That's how reality game shows fucking work. The only difference here was that instead of the producers telling Trump who to pick, it was Don and Eric.
Apparently is filled with joy. That's the other thing that we learned here. So you got the words unity and you got a lot of joy. According to Tim Walz, Kamala Harris is not weird. Right? That crazy laughter, that stuff.
Hey, fucko. Tucker Carlson called.
Not weird. That's joy. The weird dancing and the strange motions.
Really? Really? She dances weird. That's and you think, wait, you think that's going to turn off voters? You think how she dances is going to turn fuck me. Maybe they're not weird. Maybe they think this is normal, which was really fucking weird.
That's not weird. That's joy. And if you don't
Yeah. Actual, you might be confused by what actual dancing looks like because A, you can't, and B, the dude who you are apparently hate fucking in the voting booth, Donald Trump, has never honestly danced in his fucking life and is a joyless bastard.
understand that it's joy, it's because you don't understand joy.
Right. Yeah. I mean, that's what they do. They try to project it onto you. Like they don't. You can't feel joy. Yes, I can. I can walk into a Home Depot and buy a piece of wood and put it in a plastic bag and feel like a carpenter. It's the little things, like my penis.
Okay, so again, all of this is pablum. It's crap. It's insulting crap for people who actually follow politics. But what I fear is that most Americans do not follow politics, and this is why.
Sorry. It's pablum and it's crap, but that's what the American people deserve. Hey, America, you're stupid. That's Ben's reaction. Ben reacts.
Why, once again.
Oh, by the way, when the populist bullshit lies of Donald Trump scrounge up enough votes to win, that's America coming to terms with its conservative roots. When Democrats fill stadiums and are excited about who they're voting for and pick fucking Santa Claus with his beard shaved off as the VP, and he's basically Ted Lasso giving like hope lectures or whatever, and we prefer that to the like shit stain Yale Billy Elegy dude and the fake billionaire with his head so far up Putin's ass he burps in Russian. That's, we don't know what, we're faking the joy. I see. All right, okay.
It is incumbent on the Trump campaign to remind Americans of who these people are. Nobody has ever heard of Tim Walz. They don't know that he presided over the burning down of Minneapolis.
Well, he was the governor, not the mayor, and he did not preside over it. He didn't sit in a fucking throne on the hood of a Cadillac like it was Escape from New York and go, "You're the Duke, eh, number one? You're the Duke. You're the Duke, eh, number one?" As they burned the fucking place down, dum-dum.
They do not understand that Tim Walz, who had people chanting, "Mind your own business," at this rally.
Uh-huh. Which, by the way, I understand why Ben is upset, because this is what he said to everyone in Home Depot while he was walking around alone with one board. Why you got just one board? Mind your own business. You want some nails to go with that? Maybe mind your own business. Are you making a birdhouse? Mind your own business.
Literally forced everyone to close their business in the state of Minnesota.
Yeah, no, he didn't. COVID did that. Wanting to stay alive is what closed businesses.
During the pandemic.
Right. 14 days to stop the spread. Anybody? Nationwide.
He was one of the worst lockdown governors in America.
And what's his death rate like? How many of his old people survived? How many of his young kids brought home COVID and killed their grandparents? Fucking next to zero?
It's up to Donald Trump and team to remind people of that. The media are not going to...
Oh, yeah, that's true. It is. You're right, Ben. You should write them a list of things that he should talk about and they will call you a globalist and tell you to go fuck yourself. And if Trump sees you, he'll go, why is Marco Rubio still here?
Into it. And as much as conservatives like I will complain that the media are not doing their job, of course they're not doing their job. Because what we think their job is,
You are the media. You have 7 million subscribers on your single channel and something like 6 on the Daily Wire or whatever your fucking network is. You are the media. I don't want to hear that. Fuck off with this nonsense about these guys who are like, the legacy media, one clip of Joe Rogan is seen by more people than watch CNN in a whole year, which is not true because ratings versus actual views are not a one-to-one analogy, and people always go to CNN and stuff when they need some real news. This is the hang-around news, where that is the real news, and there's a difference, and it's important. Just saying. But in the meantime, if you're going to say that, if you're going to say this is the news, this is where people get their news from, then shut the fuck up about the media not telling people, because apparently more people see clips of this than will ever see a clip of Tim Walz actually on CNN. And so therefore, aren't you saying that, oh, wait, I just figured it out. You're talking to the same assholes over and over. You have no interest in reaching the other side of the argument or actually building a coalition. You're stuck in a cul-de-sac of the otherization of the whole fucking world, especially anybody who smiles naturally. So of course, you're convinced that even though you're a bigger news source, that it's the media's fault that people don't know about him.
To do journalism is not what they think their job is, which is to provide cover for Kamala Harris and Tim Walz long enough.
Long enough? Dude, what the girl in the show? 1, 2, 3. It's 3 months.
That they enter the White House. So let's not make a mistake about this.
Also, they don't have to provide cover until they enter the White House. Technically, I guess it would be only till Election Day or until most of the votes are pocketed. And since Republicans are all going to vote the day of, shit, they could probably... You know what, legacy media? You guys can cover for Harris Walz up until 2 weeks before the election, and then really just coast it, honestly, because we'll have it locked down by then.
The Tim Walz pick, it's going to have a lot of vulnerabilities that Trump can attack, but Trump has to do the attacking.
He's been trying. He can't. Couple of things, and I'll tell you why. He'll definitely keep attacking Harris because he's a racist, sexist pig. But he won't attack Walz the way he could or should, the way you want him to, quite frankly, because Walz is a nice Midwestern, well-to-do white guy, and he has no idea how to attack that. Honest to God, if Biden wasn't older than Trump, he would have had no attack against him. He wouldn't have known. He had no fucking idea what to say. It's why they went for the sun, for fuck's sake, and failed.
There's certainly enthusiasm. There's certainly talent on the left side of the aisle. People forget that Kamala Harris on the stump can be quite good. We've seen so many clips of her being a weirdo that it's easy to forget that she actually got ahead in politics by being pretty good.
I don't want to. Maybe this is a bad time to point this out, but dude, this is a clip of you being a weirdo. This is, and I didn't even clip it. You posted this. There are lots of clips of Ben Shapiro being a weirdo on the internet, and a good portion of them are titled Ben Reacts. Somebody put a gleaming tooth on me. That effect, I got to get one of those.
On the stump, at least from 2019 on or so. She hasn't met the road yet. The rubber has not met the road. She's not been asked a tough question. But Republicans are going to have to do that. I don't want to open my YouTube and see 100 Kamala Harris Tim Walz ads.
Sorry. They're the ones raising the money. Also, you're the demographic.
The Trump campaign needs to be dumping hundreds of millions of dollars into introducing the Harris-Walz team, the radical duo.
Well, he is right about one thing, because if they spend an equal or even a closer amount of money introducing J.D. Vance, for example, and the current version of Donald Trump, not old pictures of him being a young prick, which is somehow encouraging to shitheads like this, but the current doddering Pat Robertson fuck the circus peanut version of him, you know, this is a great show, I'm glad to be here, kind of. That's not helping. That's not going to help at all. I'll show you in a second.
The bail out the rioters from prison candidate and the governor who didn't want to put them in prison in the first place. They need to introduce that team to the American.
Yeah, real quick. There's a problem with that, though. I'm just to say, since then, that was several years ago. It was also before she was vice president, and during the time that he's been governor and she's been vice president, and after that period of time, which, you know, obviously we had a COPS program set into force by Biden and Obama during their administration, and Donald Trump shut it down. And 2 years, almost to the day, George Floyd was killed by a guy who largely should have been broomed off the force years earlier, and could have been if the COPS program hadn't been shut down. Weird that. And also who threw out the pandemic response team's handbook at the same time he let all of them go. And 2 years to the day, both of them convened into a perfect storm of shittiness over the course of that summer. And it's almost like a bunch of people, adults, saw the potential for shit like this and tried to put systems in place to keep it from happening. And Trump's first action when he came in was to throw out everything that had Obama's name on it. And what do you know, 2 years to the day, we get COVID and George Floyd almost in the same fucking week. And since that time, when you're during these, the way this was handled, during the time it was actually raging, the idea that somehow a governor or sitting senator or whatever would run down into the streets with a fucking plastic shield and start beating back protesters like it's a fucking Metallica video is just sort of stupid anyways. But even since then, since that time, Minneapolis kind of kicking ass. Minnesota's doing just fine. Death rate went way down. People are vaccinated. Things went back to normal. The chaos that you're talking about happened while Trump was fucking president. You weirdo.
American people, because if the only team the American people see is the team that was at that rally, that's very good news for Democrats.
I agree. Look at that. On the way, look, we're building bridges already. And by the way, for all practical purposes, Ben, you're already a member. That's not an uncommon response, I would just like to say, to the Walz edition, and they're very upset about it. When they talk sensibly about it, they're like, oh God, this plays very well. We've got to attack them on record, which is what everybody says. There's nothing new to this. The idea that these assholes are going to reinvent the wheel. Let me see. Let me pick out some policies of anybody in particular who are running, who at their ad infinitum or ad nauseum version of them, at the most exaggerated version I can possibly come up with, will maybe drive some independent voters my way. That's the potential for it. That's what they're shooting for. That's what everybody fucking does. They even talked about like the ads they're running against Kamala Harris have to do with like people who were paroled while she was AG or something like that, and that person went on to commit a crime, which is a parole issue, I would like to say, and parole boards need to be more accountable. That would be a thing. That should be a thing. Just saying, that should be a thing. Anyways, but they're trying to use that. It's the Willie Horton ad all over again. They're going to try the Willie Horton ad all over again. The problem is she dated Willie Brown, and people aren't going to know the difference, and they'll bring up, this is what Democrats always do with Willie Horton. Who'd she date him? When'd she date him? Is that one of her ex-boyfriends? Oh, fuck you, right? That's going to be the response.